Your Syllabus of Errors: The Struggle for Individuality. Written by David Breeden. Read by Justin Bovee. My nomination for greatest book title of all time is the 1864 papal publication titled Syllabus Errorum, Syllabus of Errors. The book was written by Pope Pius IX. It was a list of 80 heresies. In that work, Pope Pius IX put his foot down. After all, the Latin word heresy means choosing for yourself. In the 1860s, more and more people were choosing for themselves. And that would never do, said the Pope. The Syllabus of Errors condemned everything from modernism to moral relativism to secularity to separation of church and state to liberalism in general. Everything, in other words, that humanists treasure. I suspect that the Pope thought, OMG, I'm going to have to crack down on some errors around here. With his Syllabus of Errors, Pope Pius IX added his name to a long list of men in power who have exclaimed, OMG, this can't go on. Let's call them the authoritarians. Secularity and individual choice feel chaotic to many people, especially those who benefit from structures of hierarchy and patriarchy. You're telling me you plan to think about moral choices rather than merely depending upon my sacred texts and my prejudices? OMG! The conservative get frightened, and the authoritarian step up to stoke the fear in order to gain power. Authoritarians multiply in the lush environment produced by fear and anger. Unfortunately, fear and anger have only gotten more ubiquitous since that time. Back in the 1860s, Pope Pius IX could not have even dreamed of the fear machine we have nowadays. In our 24-hour news cycle world, we are constantly bombarded by news. And news is all about what isn't working, what is broken. The climate crisis, mass migration, stagnant economies, shifting demographics, and on and on. Many people are scared, and so they search for quick fixes. Authoritarians offer quick fixes. What can make America great again? What can make Europe great again? What can make Christianity great again? Which is code for, how do we keep people from making their own choices? How do we convince people that they are broken? How do we keep straight white guys in power? How does the dominant culture keep people from self-determination? A quick definition of freedom from the Canadian philosopher Charles Taylor says, we are free when we can remake the conditions of our own existence. We can dominate the things that dominate us. That's freedom. That's the ideal of humanism and free thought. Its opposite is going backwards in time. Here's the problem with making society great again. You're taking a past that necessarily, by definition, never was, and attempting to make that past into a future that necessarily can't be. What happens at that point is a Twilight Zone effect, forcing a past that never was onto a future that can't be creates a now, a present moment of utter frustration and illusion, or rather, delusion. It's an attempt on the impossible. That's where things can get messy, because one avenue to doing the impossible that has often been explored by authoritarians is to kill those who aren't down with the program. All the various and sundry authoritarian projects and fundamentalisms work in exactly the same way. They are insisting upon a certainty that sometimes existed in the past, yes, but that certainty existed due to parochialism or isolation. They are insisting upon certainties that cannot exist on our very small planet today. As fundamentalism insists upon certainty, it gets more and more shrill, more and more fearful, unreasoning, and unjustified. First, it issues syllabuses of errors. Then, those conditions, fear, unreason, and injustice, are the exact opposite of the humanist, secular project.